Hello everyone and welcome to the start of Ark Survival Evolved Hardcore Mode. Oh man, I'm so excited about this. I'm like crazy pumped right now. I was thinking, I kind of want to go over the rates and stuff that, we do, because it is going to be a single player server. So, we're going to do the island, and we're going to play on single player mode. So, but I want it to be relatively fair and not like super overtuned or really boosted. At the same time, I don't want to spend years trying to complete the island, so I think a little bit of boosting is okay. So we're just going to go through the settings real quick, and that way you guys can also follow along if you guys decide that you want to try to do maybe like a play along or something like that. You can see my settings, and and then for future reference, if anyone wants to know what my server settings are, we'll have this video to look back to. So I think for difficulty, we just 100% want that boosted all the way. I think there's a setting later on that we can change to make it force it to 150, but I want my max dino level to just be like it is unofficial. Dino damage we'll leave alone. Player damage we'll leave alone. Leave all this stuff alone. Okay, so for XP multiplier, I found a little snippet on the wiki that says that XP taming and harvesting on small tribes are 2.5 times the base amount which you'd find in regular officials. So in my brain, I think we do 5 times. That might be a little bit too much. We might have to play around with it, but I think that's not going to be too bad. So it would be 5 times, and this one we want to harvest them out 5 times. Yeah, so instead of 2.5 times, it would be 5 times. So that's the multiplier. The multiplier, I think that'll work well for XP taming. So because with small tribes it's a 6-man server, and for me I'm just playing this single player, so I think that's should be relatively balanced. We'll see. I mean, you guys can let me know in the comment section if you think that's going to be too much. I don't think it's going to be bad though. So, and it's the big part of this is the real challenge is not in gathering the resources and taming and all that. It's about not dying while doing everything. So I think regardless, I mean, these could be super boosted settings and it'd still be a challenge because one death means game over. I'll leave all of this stuff alone. Stamina drain, health recovery, player harvesting damage, dino count. Dino count shouldn't matter because of cryopods. I think the cryopods got rid of this stat. Third person camera, yes. Global voice chat doesn't matter. Proximity text chat doesn't matter. Is a big part of this. I don't want to do any admin commands except for I will be messing with the gamma. I'm just changing the brightness of the screen in game just so that way I don't have to play the whole thing in the dark and you guys don't have to look at the dark all the time. Yeah, no, we want our HUD. We want loot crates. The important setting. Hardcore mode. Oh man, a part of me is really scared to do this too. I feel like I'm gonna beat the bush early, man. PvE, it doesn't matter. There's not gonna be other people. Friendly fire doesn't matter. Show map player location. I do like this. This is something they have in official. Basically, it's that little triangle that represents your character on the map. So we're gonna enable that. Downloads don't super matter just because, again, we're staying. I didn't mention this before. We're gonna do for the island. I'm not gonna be going anywhere on any other maps to get resources or other dinos or anything like that. 100% we're staying exclusive to the island for this run. So until we beat all 3 bosses and then the overseer as well on top of that. And then if we do all of that without dying, then we might look at maybe doing like a season 2 and starting on Scorched Earth or Aberration. That'll definitely be something to look forward to, but that's way down the line. That's assuming that we make it through this without dying, which is pretty iffy, to be honest. There it is, max difficulty. We definitely want that checked. So that forces the even increments of 5 in their levels and all the dinosaurs to level 150. PvP gamma we want. Single player settings, I think it's fine. I think that's just got to do with like boss health and stuff, so it should be okay. Stable structure placement collision. I do I don't think that this is such a big impact that it would be considered cheating in any way, and I'm not going to use it to, like, you know, legally mesh or anything, but it's like, I hate trying to put down a base and, you know, you thought you had it perfect and then you were up against a wall and your wall starts getting too close to the terrain. And it's, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna let this happen. We'll do it within reason. You know, I'm gonna try my best not to make sure that, you know, stuff is like, I don't put my stuff inside of a wall or, you know, stack items on top of each other when I place them, but just so that way we don't have to worry about, like, a smithy trying to not get placed right up against the wall. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in Ark. No. Allow unlimited respecs. I do want this. Mind Wipe tonics are really, really nice. And plus, you know, we're probably, since this is the island, and I'm not taking advantage of other things on other maps, I am going to probably be doing an XP run. So a lot of the points that I put in early are going to be into speed and stamina, and I might want to respec later, especially for crafting and stuff like that. So no, I don't want to disable dino taming. Disable dino riding, no. Creative mode, no thank you. Alright, advanced. PvE timer, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Allow, okay, I think that this doesn't matter because we don't have PvE enabled, instead it's PvP still. Yeah, okay, so none of these matter because it's all PvE related. Prevent diseases, no. We want to be forced into having to deal with a disease, so that way if we die, it's extremely excruciating and I lose all my progress for sure. Force allow cave flyers. No, I still want the caves to be challenging. I think it'd be way too OP if we could just fly in on a Pteranodon and scoop up an artifact without having to deal with all the stuff. So a big challenge of this is going to be, you know, because the goal is going to be to beat all the bosses, which means we're going to have to get all the artifacts. And to go through all the caves without dying means we're going to have to get a tame that can go through the cave and get us all the way in and out without dying. PvP down and decay doesn't matter. No. Increase PvP respawn, it doesn't matter. Rating doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. Okay. Disable imprint dino buff, please no. It doesn't matter. Single player. Okay, so this is where it starts to matter. Let's see. Poop and egg laying doesn't super matter, but mating interval and egg hatch speed, baby mature speed. This stuff is going to matter. I don't know about you guys, I really don't want to have to get stalled. I mean, it would be cool to maybe have a couple episodes about breeding or kind of always doing it on the side, but I don't want it to take days to have to raise Rexes or whatever I'm doing. I think we can set this relatively high just to speed up the content. That way, you know, we're not just stuck sitting at base and not being able to go out and do things. Okay, yeah, so for raising a Rex, because that's going to be our primary boss fighting method for at least the Megapithecus and probably the Broodmother, and probably the Dragon as well, I'm not 100% sure. It's normally on a regular official, it's 3 days and 20 hours, so that's like 92 hours. I don't know about you guys. I think it would be pretty cool if I could set this to like 100 times that. So we go through and we set our just all of these values to be like 100 times faster. That way, I mean, getting hung up on the whole breeding part of it. I mean, because breeding to get your correct stats and then trying to get mutations if you want those, and then getting up once you've gotten all of that passed, that can take months on regular rates, and then also breeding up, you know, enough to go into a fight with. That's, I mean, that could take a really long time. So I think it would be okay for us to set this at a pretty high rate, and again, not imbalance the game too much, because I mean, it's not like there's any risk of me dying really when I'm sitting at home. If I'm evolved to the point enough that where I've caught Rexes and I'm just sitting at home or, you know, at base breeding them, I'm probably not going to die during that process. So whether that lasts an episode or that lasts 6 months doesn't really have any real bearing on the series, I think, other than it would take 6 months longer to make the series happen. So I think setting this at like 100 times, even though it sounds ridiculous, is probably okay and worth it. Lower numbers decrease on percentage the interval between which dinosaurs can mate. 50% sooner at 0.5. Okay, so yeah, for this one, let's set it to 0.01. So that would be 1% of the 1, so that's going to be 100 times faster, essentially. Egg hatch speed. Higher numbers decrease by percentage of the time needed to fertilize egg to hatch. Okay, so again, I'm going to set this to 100. Baby mature speed. Higher numbers decrease, so same thing, set this to 100. And I think we can leave... Yeah, we can leave the rest of these okay. Resources respawn period. Specifies the scaling factor for the tree, or for the respawn rate for resource nodes, trees, rocks. Lower values cause nodes to respawn more frequently. So having to wait long periods of time to get more. Honestly, again, when it comes to resources and you know, farming, raising babies, even taming and stuff like that, I think that those are just time sinks. You know, it's a little bit dangerous to be out there for extra long, but you know, the run usually takes about the same amount of time. Regardless, it's just how often you could get to go back and get resources. If anything, I think, as far as action is concerned, because you know I might get attacked while I'm farming, it would make more sense to be able to go back and get resources faster or more often, and then also progress my base and whatever I'm doing at the moment faster, and allow the series to go faster. Because again, whether I'm farming or I'm out taming or whatever it is, the risk is dying. So yeah, I think I'm going to set this to be, I don't know if 0.01 is, I mean, that's basically 100 times faster. That would be a lot. I think it'll be okay. So we've set resource respawn period to be 0.01. So basically, if it takes an hour for stuff to grow back normally, that means that it'll be back within a minute instead. So it'll be like half a minute. Baby cuddle interval multiplier. How often babies want to cuddle? More often means players will need to cuddle the baby more frequently to gain imprint quality. I think we'll leave this at its base rate. There might be problems later on. We might actually end up having to change this value. I know that whenever you're raising, speed gets boosted. Sometimes you can't get the cuddle or an imprint at all on them. So we might have to change that in order to get imprints later on. So we'll mess with it, but I think for right now we'll just leave it and see what happens. We'll leave the grace period and all that stuff alone. And we'll leave the day and night time cycle speeds all the same, spoiling time the same. Well, that's fine. Okay, I'm not going to boost my character or Dino's base stats whatsoever, as it's going to be the same as official as far as, you know, how much damage they're capable of doing and how much health they have and stuff like that. We're not going to increase any of that. We already went through and increased the base experience multiplier, so I'm not going to give any additional here. Max players in tribe doesn't matter. We'll leave these as default. I do like to see damage text. Yeah, I think we'll check that on. That's a nice little quality of life thing. Something like whenever you're out taming or something, you can use a magnifying glass to see how much health a wild dino has, so you know that if you're gonna kill it or not. So it's probably a little bit cheating, but I think it's passable. It should be okay. Custom recipes are good. No, we're not gonna feed our Titanosaur. Leave this alone. Supply, crate, loot quality. I think these are max, right? I think it's weird. This thing's already set at 5.0. So if this is right, then that means that I think we're gonna be seeing in like red drops and stuff more ascendant stuff, like and better. I mean, that's probably okay. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I mean, if we get like ridiculously overpowered, I mean, we're going to be using our dinosaurs for mostly everything. So, but, you know, having an extra overpowered shotgun to help me live a situation I wouldn't have otherwise lived might be a little nice. I probably won't be doing much fishing either, but you know, we might have a fishing episode. It'll be fun. We'll leave that alone, and then this is the engrams page. So we're going to leave all the base engrams in here. I'm not going to try to make anything, you know, fancy or custom. So there you guys go. That is my entire list of settings that I changed or tampered with. If you guys want to play along or, you know, you just want to know to see how difficult the server settings are. Again, the biggest part of this challenge is, it's hardcore mode. One death, one game glitch, one time of being underprepared, and that's it. You have to start from scratch. I did have a buddy go through and mention, well, what if you just respawned, did an XP run, and blew into your base to get your stuff? Well, one, even if I chose to do that, I would still lose all my dinosaurs. If they were cryopotted, I guess I would get them back, but imprint bonuses would be gone. For me, I wouldn't get the imprint. Additionally, I think that's kind of cheating. The whole point of this is, you get one chance. It's like real life. If you die, it's over. GG. So hopefully we can make it through this entire run. I do have 4,000 hours of Ark experience under my belt, so I'm hoping that'll get me through this. If you guys think this is going to be an awesome series, please leave a like, drop me down a comment, let me know what you think. If you guys think any of the settings are a little off, or you have questions, feel free to ask down in the comments, and I will see you guys soon with the start of the new Ark series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.